welcome to WTN Informer. I am Desiree Mago. Time to take a look at what's making the news. The Pelican saga continues now with the Simpson Bay Resort. On Monday morning, the lawyers of Workers Institute for Organized Labor, WIFO, filed an injunction today in their bid to reverse what they consider a judicial error in their case against Simpson Bay Resort Management Company and Royal Resorts Management Company. The workers of the former Pelican Resort did not receive good news on Friday when the appeal court declared null and void their legal victory of February 8th against their then employer. Simpson Bay Resort is no longer obligated to continue paying salaries to 182 workers it had attempted to dismiss. Neither would it have to adhere to the collective labor agreement that had been closed with the labor union. The workers were sent home on Friday and were informed they could resume employment after signing new contracts under less favorable conditions. In this candid interview with WTN Informer, President of WIFO, Theophilus Thomas, expressed his disappointment with UP Member of Parliament Jules James, who is the Managing Director of Simpson Bay Resort.
Last week, Friday, according to our attorney, he received a decision from the appellate court. And the decision was not in our favor, mainly because in the appellate court judge's opinion that our attorneys, they filed a rebuttal to Simpson Bay Resort appeal request, that they filed it late. When we checked the calendar, the date that was given to the attorneys to file was, they have until, I must say, until the 22nd of April. The 22nd of April was Good Friday. The court doesn't open on Good Friday, the Saturday, the Sunday, those are non-working days. The Monday was Easter Monday, which is also a public holiday here in St. Martin. And according to law, the next working day would have been the appropriate day, in which our attorney did file on that next working day, which was the 26th. And that made their petition that was sent in, it was sent in on time. And based on that, we felt that this is a legal, technical error and has to be rectified. In the meantime, the company went ahead without, I say, any consideration for the workers. And Mr. Jules James, who is the general manager, he told them in a general meeting about 2:30 that they must pack their sacks and leave the resort. I mean, for me, that was unbelievable when I heard it from our shop steward who gave me a call. Because you just don't do that. It's unethical, it's illegal, you know, and especially when he's considered to be, when he is a member of parliament who was put there by the people, who has to defend the rights of the people, and who has to bring legislation forward in defense of workers and to protect workers as well as protect business as well. But in his decision, for me, it's really conflicting. It's a conflict of interest, and I don't think that he can function efficiently or effectively as a member of parliament. St. Martin's a new country, can't afford to go through this kind of embarrassment and still maintain his job as general manager, where he has to make business decisions. So he has to make a choice. He either retain his position as general manager for Simpson Bay Resort, or he resign from that and be a full-fledged parliamentarian. He can do both jobs. And so the workers in our struggle now, they are still showing up to work. We advise them to go to work until this matter is resolved one way or the other. And they're doing it. Because you just can't let workers go home without giving them proper notification and following the legal procedure to terminate workers. In his decision to send him home, he told him, he gave them a week to sign an individual contract. Otherwise, so that is a very foolish move that he made.
As far as the workers showing to work this morning and during the weekend, what have you heard so far? Are they being allowed to work?
No, well, the workers, their right is to make sure that they are present on the job, and they are doing that. The company, on the other hand, have pulled their punching card and have refused to assign work to them. And that again is something which is uncalled for. You know, in a case like that, what should have been done? Call the union and say, listen, we have a situation here pertaining to the court's decision. How can we work within this framework to make sure that we maintain labor peace and tranquility? Because for us, that is important. Our economy, labor peace, those are relevant things for us to make sure that as a tourist island, that we maintain our standard. However, do not underestimate our resolve to defend the rights of the workers and to take whatever relevant and necessary industrial action in order to make sure that the workers' rights are respected and maintained.
How many workers are we looking at, Mr. Thompson?
I think that direct decision would affect about 130 or so employees.
Okay, and right now you are waiting on the answer that your legal advisors took on an injunction, I believe?
Yes, we're just waiting to see when, and hear from our attorney when that proceeding will come into effect.
And the workers will continue to show up for
Oh yes, they will continue. Because, it's ridiculous that you have permanent employees and you're going to bring workers from off the street. The Labor Department should look into that as well, because that falls under their responsibility, And I think that it's shameful. You as a parliamentarian want to, bust the union, because that's a union busting tactic. It won't happen. And at the same time, you want to deprive the government of revenue from permanent employees who has to pay SCB, who has to pay the taxes, people who has their mortgages, they have the school fees to pay, etc. And these casual workers, they have no obligation because they have been underpaid and they have been exploited, and they don't even pay SCB or taxes. And this is something that which a lot of companies are now trying to evade their obligation and responsibility towards society by having these part-time and casual workers to take over the jobs of people who should be made permanent, or who are permanent, and who are making their financial contribution to our economy.
On Monday morning, the Central Committee of Parliament met to discuss 4 agenda points: incoming documents, confirmation of permanent and ad hoc committees of Parliament, the advice to appoint an acting Secretary General of Parliament, and the advice to appoint a first acting Secretary General of Parliament. 2 members of the Legal Affairs Department were selected by members of Parliament. The acting Secretary General is Van Dyke Bell, and First Deputy is Nancy Joubert. Later this week, President of Parliament Gracita Arundel will have a press conference giving more information about the rest of the meetings of Parliament for 2011. Good news for the Salt Pond. As part of the improvement program for the Great Salt Pond, 48-inch pipes arrived in St. Martin just last week and is presently at the harbor. During the next couple of months, more pipes is expected to arrive on St. Martin. Head of the Public Works Department, Claudius Buncamper, speaking to reporters on Monday afternoon with more details.
The project, as was signed off back in June by the minister, is well on the way. Remember, the pipes are not shelf items. They have to be fabricated. That took a couple of months. The same goes for the engines. The big pump engines will be arriving in the month of approximately mid-December, end of December. And the project is fully online, as was projected for February 2012. So we are well within our planning and everything. So we're online. We're good online.
Now, fine, the pipes are here now. How soon do you expect to get them from the position at the harbor towards where they will be, put into use?
The pipes are going to be welded together in sections as we work our way alongside the track. So it isn't that we're going to be laying the pipes down beside the road to do the work. As we go and to bury a section, we will bring in the pipes and weld them on site and bury immediately. So it isn't something as if we're going to be having 100 lengths of pipe alongside the road, creating an ugly site. That is not how the project is put together. The welding machines are being brought in. You can see these are not small pipes. So there's a very specific welding machine being brought in with a welder, a certified welder, to melt the pipes together. It's a wonderful process to see. It has never been done here in this form or fashion before. So it is something nice also when it's being done that you can get a first-hand look at how big pipes are put together. But it will be done in sections, so the pipes will be stored behind the public works yard. And as we are moving to the site, we move the amount of pipes that we weld that day, and we put it in, and then we continue the next day again. But we will not be racking pipes beside the road.
The St. Martin AIDS Foundation and General Motors and Scotiabank teamed up once again to host a car raffle. This is the second year that F.W. Vlon & Sons is partnering with the local foundation to raise funds for the Scotiabank Red Ribbon campaign. On Monday afternoon, the foundation representatives and managing directors of Scotiabank and F.W. Vlon was on hand to officially hand over the vehicle to the St. Martin AIDS Foundation. WTN Informer Cameras was present where the presentation took place.
Tribute to the Red Ribbon campaign from Scotiabank and contributing, giving this red, beautiful Chevrolet Spark to the St. Martin AIDS Foundation to help them raise some funds for the efforts. I want to congratulate you on your efforts. And this is also Chevrolet's 100-year celebration. And so in the spirit of celebration, that's also fitting for Chevrolet. You notice this car has a 100-year sticker on it from Chevrolet. Unfortunately, a GM representative could not be here. This is a joint participation between General Motors and Vlon & Son. So on behalf of management of F.W. Vlon & Son, once again, I congratulate you, gentlemen, on your efforts.
Thank you very much.
Here's the keys.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Eric. The Stronger Together Red Ribbon campaign, our yearly campaign, this is the 6th year we're into it, has been quite successful. And what I would like to indeed emphasize is that HIV and AIDS has become a chronic, manageable disease these days. It's something that will keep people alive if they take the proper treatment. That also means at the same time that we're getting more and more people that need our care, also from the AIDS Foundation, uninsured people that need treatment and care.